an impromptu this morning. It's interesting, this perfect storm that heaven has devised in this whole situation, in on so many levels. The dark is bringing to them what is the least convenient for them. Their biggest snitch, being involved with the murder of his mistress, is inconvenient for them, especially at a time that everything needs to be investigated as far as the corruption in Shelby County, Iowa. So they're all focused on that. But on a bigger scale, that that volcano that just went off in Russia that hasn't gone off in 600 years, and it sent out a plume of 63,000 feet into the sky, you know? And that's a volcano that hasn't erupted in 600 years. Not to mention that 31 Atlas thing that's in our solar system headed for us now, and it's coming really fast, and I can't figure out what it is. But my contention is it's the very beginning of the shit that Beetlejuice shot directly at us in 2019. It's just the beginnings of it, you know? I figured that shit from Beetlejuice is wormwood. That's what I figure, you know? That shit is gonna hit us. It's coming right at us. The four pictures of that explosion when Beetlejuice got rid of its a big part of its surface, and the fourth picture says view from Earth, and that great big cloud of debris is headed right for us if you believe the NASA pictures, you know? And so I think it's the beginning. Death is coming. These motherfuckers are getting ready to be brought down. They are getting ready to be brought down. Their directed energy weapon bullshit is off the fucking charts. And by all intents and purposes, they all have to agree, or at least the ones who are in the know. By all intents and purposes, I should be dead by now. You know, way before. When what you guys did to me that night in Washington and Algona, I should be dead by that. Not to mention all the rest of the stuff. But this is how I see it. This is what makes all of this so worth it for me. There's not a fucking thing I can do to stop any of you. You break into my house, now you're overwatering fucking certain plants. So it kills them. So now I have to go and check all my plants every day. It is just exasperating to deal with you guys. But I have to go through it. Because on the other side, I get to return it. And that's what makes all this worthwhile. A while ago, I said, I put a whoever came through that door unwelcome again allowed themselves to come into the dark. And it drags your whole group into it. And a friend of mine was just like, well, I hope they, every time they come in, it's already that way. It's already happened. On the other side, the dark can come and come into their personal space any fucking time it wants and do whatever it wants. That's what happens on the other side. That's the reverse to this. The reason why I have to go through the shit that they've done to me is because you reap what you sow. You know, you reap what you sow. I can only give them back that which they've offered. And they've offered a lot. The sad part about them is that on the other side, I'm able to amplify stuff because I'm not separate from heaven. It's not like I'm a devil, you know? That's why I say on the other side, the dark isn't dark for me. I'm not separate from Father. But, or Mother, whose garden it is, whose garden this was. This was a gift from Father to Mother. And it's now destroyed. And it's about ready to burn. It's about ready to fucking burn. It already is burning. If you think that this volcano that hasn't gone off in 600 years is the only one that's going to go off, you're kidding yourselves. That's not how it's working at all. You know, that's not how it's working. And so, but this child trafficking bullshit that I've tried to expose, that I was helping Isaac Cappy to help expose, that I've helped Fiona Barnett try to expose, even though I'm the only one left out of the group of us. You know, heaven knows your shit. You wanted a war with heaven, now heaven is going to play with you. And that is the reason why I say Aquino and all of the shit that they trained me to do in Hummel Park and all the stuff that they trained me to do off at Air Force Base as a kid, the same shit that they did to so many others. It they did it because it worked, and I'm really good at it. And I'm telling you, we're at the end. We're at the end. These motherfuckers are owned by the dark, and the dark is calling its servants home. All those who serve the dark and hide in the dark, and what did you think was going to happen when the division came? They're going to go into the dark, and shit is coming to an end. You know that I've heard all kinds of stuff. They're just you can hear all kinds of things about that 31 Atlas thing, that thing that's in space, and it's gonna come close to Mars. And some people are saying it's an alien spacecraft, but it's the size of Manhattan. And I'm willing to bet. And but this morning, what I heard, which makes more sense, is that it could be antimatter shit. It's not like there isn't antimatter in the universe. And God only knows what it was that Beetlejuice shot at us. God only knows what it is. Whatever it is, there's something the size of Manhattan in our solar system, you know? And so, but regardless of that, the plates are shifting. New Jersey got hit with a 3.3. I don't think it's going to be the first one. Not to mention the 8.8. Fours, fives, and sixes are all in the same area. They're thinking that the plates are actually getting ready to just collide, you know? And if that happens, it's going to release pressure. And there's a lot of volcanoes getting ready to blow. And it's only going to take one super volcano. Fill your hearts with love. Fill your hearts with love. Their shit is taken care of. They're going into the fucking dark. And they're too goddamn stupid to realize it. You know, they're just too fucking stupid. And so that's the reason why the weather is going on. It's kind of easy to go deal with. And I'll leave links in the stuff. It's not hard to figure out. Stefan Burns, Dutch Sense, the Earthmaster. That's a good place to start. Those are 3 channels if you actually want to know about the shit that's happening in space and the stuff that's happening on the planet, you know? And you have all of these idiots who come in and think that their insults actually make a difference. And they don't. But on a personal level with me, it's going to be really hard for them to take out this dude now. Now that I've made an issue, because there's a lot of people in town who watch the shit, and that's why I did it. That's the reason why I've done what I've done. Because now, if he dies, anything fucking happens to him, people in town are going to see that and wonder why. He needs to be talked to. He knows so much shit about what's going on in Shelby County. He knows so much shit about what's going on. He's the biggest snitch, you know? This is the perfect storm that heaven, that's the darkness brought them something out of the blue. That's how it works. Stuff that you can't even anticipate. That's how it works. It just gets brought out like that. The whole reason why Trump can't make all of this Epstein bullshit go away. Can't make it all go away. Not this time. And it's only feeding it. Their shit is only feeding it. It's not making it go away. And so chaos is already here. We just all don't realize how bad it's about ready to get very soon here because it's out of control in a way that no one can master it back in. Not to mention the planet is doing what the fuck it's doing. You know, if the plate moves, if the North American Craton plate moves, it's going to fuck up the entire United States. Now, the middle, especially, isn't going to take the shaking. And the New Madrid is having issues as well. You know, we are at the end. None of us are going to live forever. And with everything that's happening, why the fuck would you want to? Fill your heart with love. These people could turn away. They could turn away from their bullshit. They could turn away from their fucking child trafficking bullshit and actually do the right thing. Even people in town here could actually. We probably won't see it. Chaos is coming. What, do you really think that they're going to go arrest each other, prosecute each other, throw each other in jail? And really, considering what this group is, what they're culpable for, that doesn't even begin to even start to begin to what is awaiting these motherfuckers. Trust me, they're about ready to get theirs. Evil, the dark, is a fucking virus in man's heart. And if you're infected with it, you end up in the dark. Because the dark is the cure. Spend an eternity in the dark, and I can assure you, you won't fucking choose evil again. You'll have a good, strong, healthy respect for the fear of evil after an eternity in the dark. That is what's getting ready to happen, you know? I'm just telling you, that's the shit that's happening, you know? Chances are, before you actually see, God is bringing us to Him, not the other way around. The heaven doesn't revolve around mankind. We're servants. We're not the ones. That's all I'm saying. You know? But do whatever the fuck you can to fill your heart with love. Or don't. Fuck, I don't give a shit. But you won't like the dark. You won't like the dark. And cognitive dissonance and fucking ignorance ain't gonna help you. In fact, just the other way around. That's how it works. That's the sad part. And if you can guarantee that none of these fucking super volcanoes are going to go off, even though they're all having issues, and a fucking volcano that hasn't gone off in 600 years in Russia just went off yesterday. But you're fucking can guarantee everybody that not one of those fucking super volcanoes is going to go off, which is, by the way, an extinction level event. So you can tell yourself whatever fucking bullshit you want to tell yourself. But at this moment in time, you may want to at least give the perspective of your souls and what might happen afterwards a thought. Just a suggestion. You know? Just a suggestion. Most of you evil motherfuckers only know the goddamn dark. And you just revel in it. And you're going to get claimed by it. And after an eternity of being in the dark, you'll never choose evil again. It is the vaccine. But with that said, that's all I really wanted to point out. And when I say the other side of the mirror, just because people do not know what I'm talking about does not change the programming. You know, Alice in Wonderland, Wizard of Oz, all of that shit. And it was good. It was the shit that you trained me to do as a kid. It was Very helpful. Very helpful. And so all I'm telling you is that God is here answering its promises. And the promises to me is all you motherfuckers that were so involved and have been so involved, the pedophile protection squad and the fucking child killers themselves, you're all going to end up in the fucking dark. That's how it's going to work. That's what's happening. And there ain't a fucking thing you can do to stop it. Because how heaven is going to work is it's going to get someone to do something stupid that's going to bring a focus that nobody expected. Like the biggest snitch in town that's worked with the sheriff's thing, killing his mistress or being involved with the murder of his mistress, and now he's in jail. And he knows a lot about the corruption at a time that I know people are investigating this corruption because people are well aware of it, have been well aware of it for a long time. So now, chances are, if something happens to him, it's going to be suspect. It's going to be looked at as suspect, you know? And that's how heaven works. It works in a way that it's always better to form what you need and then take it to heaven and ask heaven to do it for you. It takes a lot longer, but the results are freaking spectacular. And as soon as Neil gets ensnared, which he already is, and his whole department already is, they're already ensnared. It's going to get worse. And once that goes, the gate suddenly opens up because I've dealt with the gatekeeper. Shelby County, Iowa Sheriff Neil Gross is their gatekeeper. And the doors swing open, and they're going to go after all the people that have made my life such a joy ever since I've been here. Because they've been working hand in hand with fucking Shelby County, Iowa Sheriff Neil Gross. And he's known about my perspective because he has every fucking email before the shit that happened in Erlang, Iowa, and that gas station explosion. Has it all. He has the complete documentation of everything. Like I said yesterday, my intention, energy wise, is to make fucking Neil Gross an albatross and hang it around all their fucking necks. It's the energy that's there. It's the easiest to use, you know? And who could pass up an opportunity like this? You know? Who could pass up an opportunity like this? And it's heaven that's doing it. It's heaven that's doing it. I'm just, I had nothing to fucking do with it. You know, I still don't know the dude's name. I was told the name, but I won't pronounce it correctly. And bait. It's going to be hard to get rid of him now. It's going to add to the tension. You know, add to that tension. Good morning. Add to that tension. You know, that paranoia. Because he knows everything. He knows enough to get him looking in the right directions. Chances are he's going to want to talk. He's already known to be a snitch. He already talks. You know? Who could have seen that one coming? I did not have that one on my bingo card. That's why I've thrown my bingo card out a long time ago. Heaven never works in the way that I think it's going to work. Always better. Always better. And I'm just overjoyed. I think I'm supposed to stay here. You know, I'm supposed to be here for some reason. It's funny because when I got to Shelby County, what I was told, what I found out was that um, Shelby County had as big of a problem with the fucking devil fucking lover idiot people that Omaha did. You know, I knew that after Franklin, they all went to Brownville, Nebraska. They moved in mass to Brownville, Nebraska. because nobody knew how big the fallout was going to be. So everyone wanted to get the fuck out of Omaha. So they went to Walnut, or not Walnut, but Brownville, Nebraska. But Shelby County has its own issues. Who could have? I didn't know until I was living in that funeral home house that Erling's claim to fame is that it's the place where the last sanctioned Catholic exorcism took place. I think that it was more of a ritual than an exorcism. And whatever they released, it's alive and well in Erling. You know, it's alive and well in Erling. So I have a feeling that there's a reason why I'm supposed to be in this area and I didn't move, you know? And I was really looking forward to that move. But I guess I'm here. Well, that's all I have to say. You know, it sucks when you get on disability, you get paid, and then you're broke the very next day, living on a little over 900 bucks, a little under 1,000 a month is damn near impossible. So I have my own crosses to bear, my own shit that I have to figure out, the stuff that I have to deal with. And so I'm just doing these videos. I like to get them out of the way. That way I don't have to fucking deal with them. I know people in town listen to me. I also know that it's going to be harder to make that dude go away now. Exposure is exactly what this situation needed. And the fact that I have a really dear friend who has been actually personally affected by the shit that's happened in this family, that opens up pathways for me that wouldn't have existed before. And so I was asked by heaven to use what I was trained to do against them. And that's what I'm doing. And I just give it to heaven, and heaven is the one who actually does it because it's freaking remarkable. Who could have seen the dude murdering his mistress? And now people are questioning that whole murder that Chad Butler shot some dude. He's a cop, and in the sheriff's department, it's the second person he's killed. And that happened like 6 weeks ago, 7 weeks ago. And people are thinking that that's a setup too, that there was shit going on, that they're just trying to clean house. And so it's interesting how it all works. And now there's a big focus on it. And for investigators who are looking into it, I would go talk to that dude. He's in jail. You know where he is, and I bet you can get him to snitch. He's already a snitch. You know, you need to go ask that dude what he knows and then go from there. Because I assure you, take one step, the next one will follow soon enough. You'll figure it out. It's just putting it out there. So, with that said, this volcanic activity that's going on Earth is not going to go away. It's getting increasingly worse. And it's going to have a fucking effect. It's going to have an effect, you know, that I can't imagine will be very pleasant for anybody. And so I just think that it might behoove you to think about something other than just this life. You know, I just think it would behoove a person. But otherwise, fuck, do what you're going to do. Do what you're going to do. Because the sad part about it is more than not are going to end up in the dark. You know, I think Yellowstone could blow. I know that there's 3 other super volcanoes that are in California right now that they are experiencing. They're thinking they're going to go blow, and that's 3 in California. Fuck Yellowstone. How about the other ones? Because it just takes one, and The one in Italy that is going off right now, that is a super volcano. It just hasn't exploded really big yet, you know? But that one in Italy that's already going off is a super volcano, and it's only going to take one, you know? And the sun is cooking the fucking planet. So the planet is going to do what it's going to do to protect itself. What can it do? Fucking shoot a bunch of shit into the atmosphere that takes 10, 15 years to go away. And by then, nothing's left. And then it just starts anew. That's how it works. You know? That's how it works. That's how it's going to work. We are in judgment. The reaping is upon us. You know? And so, unless you guys all believe that you're fucking powerful enough to actually do whatever you have to do to stop it, which, okay, whatever, whatever trips your trigger, I guess. But you ain't gonna like the dark, and it's coming. It's coming. It already has them by the short and curlies. The shit about Shelby County Sheriff is gonna go down, and when it does, it's gonna become an albatross around all those motherfuckers next, because everyone's gonna realize I've been telling the truth the whole time. So